Hello, everybody. My name is Rodgon. I'm an illustrator and artist, and I am here today to showcase an old sketchbook. So, we went through sketchbook number one, and this was the very first sketchbook that got me into drawing again in a very passionate way. We already went through this one once, so this one has been shut. Boom! If you guys want to see it, there's probably a video of it on YouTube. Now, we are going into sketchbook number two, and this one is from July of 2015. So this is 7 years ago that I started doing these. And I haven't seen this in a long time. And I believe this is where I started drawing collages and just filling every part of the book with it. So let me adjust this for a second. All right. So, ooh, I left an empty page. Bad Rod. Okay, at this point, I was starting to actually try to develop an individual look for the characters that I was drawing. I was drawing a lot of very stripy, very furry creatures. So I decided that I was going to draw a bunch of furry creatures in this one. I started with corgis and giving a mask, and then just try to understand how snouts work. Why are you having to redo these because of your ex? She was supportive of the content. She was not very supportive of things being inspired by other people. And it was just, I was trying to be respectful. So I removed a lot of the things that she wanted. And later on, I just realized that it was very painful to do that. And, just art in general is inspired by so many different factors in your life, and getting that cut out of me was just it hurt down the line. I wasn't really affected by it at the moment, but it built up a little bit of resentment for me to be able to not have to do that. But anyways, we're not here to talk about her. We are here to talk about the sketchbook. So in this case, I was already trying to figure out a little bit more of anatomy. I was getting a little bit more comfortable with anatomy and trying to actually figure out what I was drawing. And things didn't quite look right. So things just started adjusting really, really quickly because I wanted to. And you're going to start seeing booby a lot more in these. That's sad to hear, but we got your back 100%. Can't wait for the new content. You know what? I love her. She's a wonderful person. She's just not my wonderful person. It's just, I hope that she does good, and I hope she does great, and I hope she's successful, and she finds somebody that, can be what she wants. And I love her for it. She was my best friend for a very long time, and that's not going to stop. So, why are people so stupid? Your coffee break doodle books are amazing. Love the sketchbook tours. Thank you. So, I draw all these, right? And then, in case you guys didn't know, there's a book that I have, a compilation of these things, and it's called Coffee Break Doodles, and you guys can find it in my link, in my bio. That's just a collection of all the best ones and put together with a little bit of knowledge. Okay, so I was working at a t-shirt company at this point too. I was working for a company called Four Seasons Designs. And so my focus went very much so towards individual illustrations. Wish you could release some custom sketchbooks. What do you mean by custom sketchbooks? Just straight up scan these and sell this? I don't know. I don't know if that's something that I would actually do. I do like my art being showcased at its prime whenever I do get a chance to showcase it at its prime. It's not necessarily that I always just want to doodle like this, but this is just something that I fell in love with. I fell in love with just drawing and filling the pages and like developing concepts and then just letting them go. Bringing in what I want and then just letting go of everything else. And then moving on to the next concept, right? So it's been a big, like the last 7 years since I started doing these has been a big learning curve for me. So this is what I would consider my like drawing college or like my drawing task. Like to get to a professional level, I had to go through this. And I'm grateful that I actually did that. Or blank sketchbooks with your covers for other people to sketch in. Oh, you know something that would be cool if I like got together with the people from Book Belts and like Illo sketchbooks or Danique sketchbooks, and then we just sold like bundles. Like everything you need as a sketch pack. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. Like little watercolor sets and shit. Like, yeah, that'd be interesting. I might look into that. So again, drawing more faces, trying to get used to drawing a skull underneath, but I was still stylizing everything too much. So therefore things were a little bit off. You know, like I was still stylizing like the eye socket to be kind of like an eye with an eyelid instead of being an eye socket. So that kind of affected the rest of my drawings because that's how I assumed the face socket was supposed to be. Here are some early iterations of Archie and Booby. Trying to figure out like the playfulness, the look of it. Then we have some sharks. I think I was drawing sharks for work. And I got the chance to sketch out some sharkies because I was drawing from reference and it was just really fun. More faces. Again, the exaggeration here. I'm going to show you guys an example of how I would go about fixing any of this stuff later. Let me see if I can find some Post-its though. I normally have a bunch of them. Let's see if we have Post-its in my backpack. Haha, we sure do. You always have Post-its in my backpack. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so if I were to redraw, let's say, this character right here, right? This guy right here. If I were to redraw this guy, I would start with fixing the jaw right here. This looks weird. Nobody has a flat face. So even if everything else was the same, I'd probably start fixing little elements that would balance out the drawing a little bit more. So because now I can actually see everything that I'm drawing, and with the methods that I have developed, I'm able to map that out a lot better. And it becomes like the guesswork is non-existent anymore. I just know that it's supposed to be going in certain places. Plus, I'm a little bit better with pen work now, so. It's fun redrawing stuff. See, something like that would be more so the drawing nowadays. So it'd be, I learned to adjust the things inside to make it look better. So they all remind me of a Disney short art style. Yeah, like honestly, yeah, that is like a huge reason that I'm just gonna leave this here because I like that. I've always enjoyed the whole concept of creating storyboard-like images of myself so that I can storyboard my life, like journaling it. That's like the goal of sketchbooking for me, is to be able to tell the story of my life. And okay, so here I was, the first attempts at drawing pinups in the Chris Sanders way. I was trying to figure out his proportions. I was trying to figure out the way he drew eyes and trying to figure out why his eyes were so buggy and then just so appealing. And I just could not get it. It was such subtle work in subtle lines that was just really, really hard for me to like comprehend it because I didn't have the knowledge that I have now. Okay, cheers, everybody. Coffee break time. Oh, yeah. So I found this like Twinkie creamer. Twinkie creamer is delicious. Oh my God, has been so good. Like I've been enjoying my coffee in the morning much more than I normally do. Putting a little whipped cream on it, a little cinnamon. Okay, so I remember this very clearly. And I remember taking this sketchbook over, it was Comic-Con time while there was this going on. So I was going around the booths and I came across this just dude that was just sketching in people's sketchbooks. And I was like, oh my God, please sketch in my sketchbook. And he drew this in my sketchbook. I have absolutely no idea who it is. But if you guys know whose signature that is, let me know because maybe it's like a super famous person and I just kind of just bypassed it. So this might be worth some money. I don't know. Okay. So as we continue on, you will recognize a bunch of these from Randy Bishop. Randy Bishop is amazing. Randy Bishop's faces are like, ugh. Like that is the epitome of how I wanted to draw. So I study him a lot. Derek Loffman, I believe, is the one that created these. I'm not 100% sure, but I went ahead, I drew a character, I drew the styling that I liked from him, and then I tried to make my own version of that character using something from my mind, therefore adapting it to my styling. Not necessarily stealing his design. I just really liked the way that his eyes looked, and then the nose was. So it just looked like a magical wizard. So I decided to draw the Ice King from Adventure Time. Then I decided to draw some League of Legends characters. Can you guys tell me who this is? Can you guys guess? Dun 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 dun. You guessed it! It's Twitch! Twitch is a character in League of Legends. It's a big rat that runs around with chemically enhanced weapons, and then he just shoots everybody. Fantastic design, and I just wanted to make my own version of him. This is when I started playing League of Legends, and I was just so drawn in by all the characters. The other character that I did was Annie and her big teddy bear Tivers. The concept of something cute and adorable next to something drastically creepy and like freaky is a contrast in art that I love. I love it. I love the idea of, see, to me, there's like a couple things that balance each other out, right? In the spectrum. Kind of like imagine like a color spectrum, but with like themes. So in one, you have cute or adorable. In one other side, opposite of that is creepy. Then I'd say sexy is one for me. And the opposite of sexy is dark. Or like super just dark. Because I associate sexy with positivity and happiness. I never think of sexy people being sad. For some reason in my head, that's just how it works. So that's the 4 spectrums in my brain. And whenever I draw something cute and I want it to be a positive tone to the scene, I draw something sexy with it. If I want something cute and I want it to just be like a little edgy, I can either go to creepy or I can go to dark. And as long as you like combine one of these two things in your drawings, you're going to have a really freaking awesome, epic thing. So if you draw something sexy like a pinup girl, and I can't draw a pinup for the life of me. Oh my god. Okay, there you go. She's sitting down. And so you have a sexy pinup, and then you draw like a super creepy monster behind her, like about to eat her. That's gonna make a much better scene than just drawing the girl. If you're gonna draw a girl and you draw a super cute animal with her, it's gonna just enhance it. If you draw something dark, like you can draw something sexy and dark, so like an emo girl that has like a vampire girl or something like that. You know, like, so that little spectrum to me goes into consideration every time I draw something, or anytime that I actually want to put thought into something that I actually want to develop. Boom. Our next character I drew was Ziggs. Ziggs is yet again another little furry creature, a yordle, and he has big bombs, and he's just like super awesome and cartoony, and he's like super smart and like kind of crazy. Then my friend Javi, which also played League of Legends, asked me to draw Morgana. And I was like, ooh, Morgana is like this like witch, like chick that's like just awesome, like just witch lady. Right? So it was the first time that I had to try to do a pinup for someone with pen. And it came out horrible. Like everything does not like look appealing. This is too static, completely profile. The neck is too long, the head is too long. Like everything just turned out wrong. So I was so disappointed with that. And then we were like, we moved on because we don't hold on to like bad drawings. And then it was like the first contest that I ever did for Instagram. I think this is when I had like 200 followers or something like that. I had like 200 followers, and these people were amazing. I don't know if they're still my followers or not, but if they are, I wish them the best, and I hope they got their prizes because I was very absent-minded back then. And if not, let me know, and I will hook you up with absolutely everything I have to give you. Another character that I drew, it was it's Gnar, Gnar, Nar. So that one was cool. We were doing some leg studies and simplification processes for characters. Like I try to amply learn how to simplify things very much. So I was just doing leg studies from Pinterest and just drawing everything that I could possibly fit in my page. Feet and foot studies and hand studies as well from Pinterest. How many sketchbooks have you filled all together? Okay, the last time that I checked, the 8.5 by these size sketchbooks, I have about 14 of them. I have like maybe 7 or 8 just randomly sized sketchbooks as well. And then I have maybe like 12 of the sketchbook wallet ones. So maybe around like 30 something sketchbooks in the last 7 years. And going like right now I have like 4 of them going at one time just because I'm starting to like theme them out. So it's been once you complete one, everything else becomes easier. Everything becomes like you just get more involved. Another take on Archie and playing around with the character. Trying to figure out if I was going to make this into a bunch of different characters or just one. Do you sell full sketchbooks? I've always loved sketches over finished works. I have an entire book called Coffee Break Doodles that I have for sale as a digital book and as a physical copy book. And just go to the Stand By Me link in my Instagram or here on TikTok, and then you can just find them there. Yeah, so I do have them. Okay, some more faces. Oh my god, I used to do these all the time before. So I would just draw one big thing and then try to fit everything and come up with shapes that would fit within that area. That's something I haven't done lately, so I should probably try to do that. That was incredibly fun exercises. Again, I was drawing from Pinterest. At this point, anything that looks remotely okay is probably going to be from a reference from Pinterest. The first few sketchbooks that I did were referenced a lot. And that was because I needed to learn. Like, even though I was already an established artist at this point and I had decent art, I needed to relearn a lot of things because I noticed that I did not understand a bunch of things. When I started to question my abilities in drawing certain things, I realized that I did not know what I was drawing a good majority of the time. So a lot of the time that was spent during these first sketchbooks was just, figuring out what I was drawing, how I was drawing it, and how to make it make sense for myself. That has been a huge, huge thing for me. Like, things don't stick to me as much as or as easy as other people do. I have seen people literally just get explained a basic concept and then they're able to go ahead and create amazing art with it. Unfortunately for me, I don't know if I have a learning deficiency or something, but I need to repeat the same thing hundreds of times for it to actually stick. So a lot of these things, you'll see me repeating it over and over and over and over. It's because I needed to do that in order for it to stick. Again, my never-ending struggle back then to draw hoodies. Like, I don't know why I could not draw a hoodie. Like, why do I have this lip right here? This should have just ended here. I struggled a lot with the neck. That's why I'm so good about doing that now. I didn't know the length of necks. I didn't know how they connected really to the body. So a bunch of the times it's just a big noodle. And then, even though it worked, it was just something that wasn't all that great. I'm always been really good about drawing animals doing fun things, though. That is one thing that I've always been okay at. Then we have another version of what Archie could have been. I thought if you wanted to be a little bit more creepy and cute, remember, creepy and cute. Creepy and cute make a good combination. Then I did some work for I'm a Ninja, which is something that I'm also currently working on, like a bunch of things for them. And they're a company that or a dude that I have always enjoyed working with. So I made Power Ranger versions of his ninja for both the green and the blue one. Then I wanted to draw some male anatomy. So I wanted to draw like a gladiator dude. That proceeded to me creating some more of those Power Ranger ones for the dude. Another exercise in filling every inch of the page. You can see the guy, the shark is biting his nose because that's the only thing that I could see. And it's not even a shark. It looks like just a random fish. And then his forehead and nose fill in the gaps at the forehead. Ugh. I love doing these things. They're so fun. Little other Archie. And then I tried to draw Udyr, which is another character in League of Legends, but he has like a bear thing, like a bear skin or a wolf skin on his head. And oh my God, it was so hard for me to map this out properly. I just couldn't. It was the whole concept of the hoodie again. I don't know why wrapping things over somebody's head was so hard for me back then. It was just I just didn't get it. And then look at the neck. Look at the neck. The neck is huge. Oh, and this one doesn't look too bad. But in this one, I was like, oh, God. The lack of anatomy, I look back at these and it's just, you know, I know that now I see all the mistakes. Dennis Zibber apparently is the references for these guys. Then again, trying to draw faces. Again, everything looks very, very, very stiff when I try to draw them structurally because I didn't really know the placement of things I knew how to draw things in there. It was just about placing them in a stylized way that looked okay, that was very difficult. So I started just breaking down structures and trying a bunch of different styles, even in the same page, just to see what would look better. And then continuing on to just more studies, trying to break down the face, trying to figure out ratios, trying to figure out what looked best. Some proportions, simplifications, derpy animals, and more trying anatomy and trying to just lock everything in a way that made sense to me. And most of these drawings are like what I would do in my 15-minute breaks that I had for work. I would have 15 minutes in the morning for coffee, and then I'd have 30 minutes for lunch. So I would use the 15 minutes in the morning to draw little doodles like these and, try to like learn something or do something fun that I could share on social media. Oh, my friend Becky drew this. Oh, I miss Becky. Becky, she is like, she likes drawing a lot of anime inspired stuff. And it's just really cool because she's really good at it. More Archie explorations. A dude at a bus stop had this amazing face. And sometimes drawing profiles is just the way to go because they have like such a massive profile. Nowadays, I'd probably add a little indication to the other side of the face just to add depth, like tilt the hat a little bit, but it's still pretty cool. The pinups started getting a little bit better after just a little bit of studying. Proportions are looking a little bit less weird. Still weird, but a little bit less. My penmanship started getting a little bit better. I started getting comfortable with cross-hatching and adding a little bit of texture. And I noticed the cleanliness of it, and I started sketching a little bit cleaner. Using references, I just started using, like, for posing. And I think you're going to start seeing a much cleaner, like, stylization to everything because I got more comfortable. Something clicked when it came down to the actual, penmanship of it. So now I'm able to get lighter lines, more control, and it was a lot easier for me to just position things. And with reference, I can get some amazing things done, and they're really, really fun and really, really clean. But the whole concept was that I was not understanding what I was drawing. So even though I could get the poses that I wanted to be able to know that from the get-go. Like, I wanted to be able to be like, okay, I'm drawing this because of this. Not drawing this cool because I saw that picture. I want to know how this connects. I want to know how this works. I want to know how to rotate this. That was my thought process. And from time to time, it's just about drawing super cute, adorable things. Like a little octopus and a bear. Then we have, again, crude and cute. Crude and cute. A spectrum. Right? It just makes for a more interesting drawing. This is when I hit 800 followers on Instagram. Wow! That was 800 followers. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm famous. Oh man. What a time to live in. Some more faces. I think I was upset because Booby was upset. And I normally don't draw this bee unless I have a strong emotion that day. Yep, I was mad for sure. I was probably very upset at something. More pandas. My pandas do not look like pandas. All my pandas look like puppies with panda stripes, and I love it. Want to draw a whale? I think this was gonna be for like a time lapse that I did. I was still like experimenting with what to share online and like how to share it. And I saw like time lapse videos, and I love time lapse videos, so I try to do them as much as I could. Another exercise in filling in everything. This time, Derpy Animal Edition, apparently. Broken Anatomy. I used to do this with a lot of profiles because profiles are easy to fit into random shapes. And then now we're starting to see Archie kind of developing a little bit more into his own persona. Uh, just animals have always been something that I enjoy drawing. And Booby, it's oh, yeah, here's an example. Yeah. Okay, so a lot more derpy animals. I probably was a little bit upset at something that day as well. And then more faces. I always like to push facial expressions too. I don't like bland facial expressions. If the character's not making a facial expression that conveys an emotion, it probably, to me, it's like a failure of a drawing. I must have been very happy that day. I must have been really happy. And then, is this me drawing me? I drew myself, but I didn't draw my glasses. That's just kind of weird. What if? I probably was like hankering over a girl at this point. That just happens to me. Yeah, I journal a lot of the feelings that I feel. So you'll randomly see like little hearts and stuff like that, like heartbreak, and you'll really, really realize that I'm like going through something at some point because I just draw it in my stuff. Corgi time. Host is inviting you to go live together. Sure. Let's see. Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah. Oh,
Why
you
are you
draw?
on this live thing with me now? Did you
Are
have a
you draw?
question?
Are you draw?
I draw,
Yeah,
but
it's nice to teach you.
thank you. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
ask
really
you
nice.
to, if you don't have a question, I'm gonna ask you to please end the thing because it's really loud on your side.
Oh,
I don't know if you're doing like a
what
little dance
draw?
or whatever, but yeah, I will talk to you later though. Okay? Okay.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you. Bye bye.
No problem. Bye.
Bye.
Feel free to end it. Get out of it. All right.
Okay, get out. Get out. How can
I
get
have
out?
no idea how.
Okay, I can do.
You do it. Bye. Yeah, I never know how to end those, so it's like always like a toss up. People are just funny, man. Um, Panda and a corgi interacting with each other. Boop. Then we have some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle time. And again, this one was for a little commission for someone. Someone wanted like their friend like pandas, and she liked foxes, and I felt derpy that day, so I do that. Here we have some Pokemon designs with my styling for the critters. We have Pikachu and Eevee, and then we have I forget their names. Oh my god, I can't. Okay, but these were done on the request of one of my friends that inspired all these Pokemon things. But I can't remember its name. Yeah, it's like it's not Charizard. I know that, but I can't think of the name. Here's another sketch that was cut out. Then we get to mermaids. So this must have been close to mermay, and little minions. I'll have. Oh, here's the character in question. Little Lolo, or a little Bubby, as it is called now, is the character that I draw nowadays, and it's the character that has like the big pigtails and stuff like that. That one was the one in question because it was based on another person that I used to date. So that's why there's some missing pages here. This was Inktober, I believe. I think Inktober came, and then I decided that I was going to draw with like pen and ink. But I was already doing pen and ink stuff. And then me trying to put Archie against things that are creepy or, differently contrasted than him. And like I said, it brings out like a really fun dynamic in your art. Oh, my favorite Pokemon. Haunter. I've always wanted to get a sticker of that one done. Haunter. I like Haunter so much that I have a tattoo of him. Playing with anatomy as well. And then just practicing a bunch of anatomy. Just trying to take everything that I see online and trying to copy that until something clicks. Newton didn't come into play until later on, so you might not see him here. My Little Pony, My Little Pony. I must have not been very happy that day. And then we have me just running with. Then I decided to combine a panda into this. It just looks like, that just looks weird. Ask the artist. Pick me, pick me, pick me. Plus me, come on me. Don't pick me. Now, dude, pick me. Ask me anything. I used to love doing these. And I still do. I love doing Q&A. And it's something that I really, 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 really enjoy. Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur loves you. Yep. I was probably hankering for some young lady or something at this point. Drawing little butterflies coming on my stomach. It's kind of like literal at that point. I like the idea of this character, but I just wanted to draw like something with multiple feet to see if I could. And it ended up being kind of creepy, but kind of cute. I would love to see something like this as a vinyl toy or as a pillow. Oh my god, as a plushie. That'd be amazing. As you can see, my penmanship is getting a lot cleaner. Way, way cleaner. And then I believe this one was my second commission ever done in a ballpoint pen. This was somebody that wanted Pinocchio and Baymax. And I just decided that I was just going to do it with pen. And whatever came out, that was going to be it. And it came out actually pretty cool. And it made me realize that if I focused, I can actually draw something pretty good. A drawing I did with highlighter. Boom, 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 boom. Different highlighters. I must have forgotten my sketchbook that day. This was also another concept that I did for a t-shirt design for somebody. And it started with my sketchbook, and I just refined that later on and did it digitally. Some monkeys, because I was drawing already apes, and these were done in 3 minutes. 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Somebody asked me to combine a turtle and a bunny. And that was a fun idea. So we drew that. And Turtle Bunny Toucan, apparently, is what came up. I must have been kind of annoyed that day. And this was more the concept of the gorilla that I drew before. And then I just went and developed it a little bit more. I think I ended up using this one. And then I took that and took it into digital, and I finished it. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay, so I have a very strong belief that you should enjoy like playing with, say, like the sexuality in things. Like I have just always been a person that likes that sort of stuff in art. And if something's sensual, it's great. If it's sexy, it's great. It doesn't have to be raunchy. It doesn't have to be porn. And it has to be, you know, something that conveys an emotion. And that can be anger, that could be happiness, that could be like, ooh, that's cute and sexy. But it has to convey an emotion. And back then, I was much more leaning towards the dirty humor type of thing. So I just really enjoyed putting things like that. This was a friend of mine that drew this on here. Who is it? Barfly. I think that might have been at a sketch party. Oh, there you go. Here's the design of the gorilla. Then another exercise of drawing heads within the shapes. This is always fun. More little furry creatures getting used to the anatomy and get the flow and like making a move. Another collage. Whenever a drawing came out bad, it would turn into a collage page. That one's cool. Like, Rawr! That's the sound that I can imagine it making. More variations, playing around with the facial expressions and the positionings, and I was probably pretty happy that day. There's a little heart on top of booby. And these were done from reference from Pinterest, for sure, because they're actually like really nice. So I often forgot to put the names of the people that I referenced. And, you know, now that I look back on it, it's like kind of like a shame because I wish that I could give them a little bit more like recognition for helping. This was a t-shirt design that I ended up making, and I just liked it so much that I printed it out. But I believe I have this here because that's the original sketch. So we went from original sketch to finished t-shirt design. Ta-da! I have always also been a fan of street art, like graffiti and vinyl toys. And the magazine Juxtapose was always one of my favorite magazines to watch because they had such ridiculously like different art and unique art, and it wasn't just the standard like comic books or kids books or realism. It was like just unique approaches to things, and I've always been a fan of that. So I create art like this constantly because it's just my interpretation of a concept, and it's just like mine alone. No one has ever approached things like this. Probably they have, and I might just not know of it, but as far as I am concerned, I think it's unique. Playing around a little bit more with the looseness in the joints of an arm and a hand. All these are done from reference and from real pictures. Moving on to our next collage page where we filled up everything with space and aliens. And animals, apparently, and sharkies. Space sharks. Alright. I forgot how big these sketchbooks were. We have a kitty octopus. Tried approaching Archie with just more of a cat face, more so. Then we have Genevieve Sai as the reference for all these. Genevieve Sai is amazing. Amazing. She is by far one of my favorite artists ever. She is one of the few people that I have actually searched out for a signature because her art style is just so fucking cool. Then I was drawing Steven Universe. Da, 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 da. I was aiming to draw Archie as an adult, and it ended up coming out like a tiger. Not quite what I think Archie should be as an adult, but it's a cool concept to think about, anyways. Booby must have been really happy. I must have been happy that day. And the face is completely shifted weird, man. Like, it's appealing, but it's structurally not good. This one's a lot better. I like it. Alright. We're getting close to the end, guys. So we ended up drawing a little mermaid with a little octopus. In more Chris Sanders style, like mimicry, trying to break it down in the way that makes sense to me. Still, at this point, I have not really achieved that but it's something that I was striving towards constantly for years. I think nowadays my artwork is, like up there, and I can actually like figure out what he does and how he does it. But I think at this point I have come to like some other artists as well. So my art is stylized in like a little bit of every other way. Little orca. Another mega werewolf form of Archie. More like a dog. Oh my god, I remade this drawing. I remade this drawing just to show like the difference that a couple years like would make. I should remake the remake and then just have like 3 steps to it. That would be amazing. I'll have to find out the other one at some point, but you'll probably see it at one point or another. Some more faces. This dude had super hairy chest, like it was like poofing out of his shirt. It was kind of gross. And then a trucker octopus with a little teddy bear. Oh my god, I think these are kendamas, right? Oh man, I used to like love those things. It was so fun. This was for a commission for somebody. Their little cat. See, I do ambiguous animals apparently at this point. I think it was a cat, and it was a cat Leo, and I ended up drawing him like this, which doesn't really look like a cat now that I look at it. But hey, they liked it, so hey, and we all learn, man. We all grow. No, I wanted to draw Yoda, and then I think this was gonna be for mermay, but I ended up drawing the hands too big on the mermaid, and the face was a little bit skewed, so I didn't really like it too much. So it just ended up becoming like a big scene. Like nowadays, I'd probably just put a post-it over it and draw over it, but back then, I wasn't too concerned about that. It was more so just about getting used to and getting handy with the pen. So any mistakes that I made, if I could fix it, I could fix it. If not, I would just leave it. And as you can see, I'm starting to put a little bit more cross-hatching, a little bit more texture to everything towards the end. I'm trying to push myself a little bit more. Some more faces that I was trying to draw from pictures. Trying to figure out new different things. Again, this one was a little messy. Mostly because I decided to draw with pencil. And what is this, Rod? What is this? That doesn't even make sense. Ugh. Okay, hold on. Rod, Rod, that is unacceptable. Okay, we're gonna like kind of redraw over this. Just so we can like correct our mistake. Boom. So, the whole point of drawing this character was to show super strong cheekbones. I remember this, and I just didn't know where the cheekbones went. So, let's keep everything else structurally the same. Right? We're going to have everything else be exactly the same. I'm just going to sketch it in really lightly. The nose comes right here. Brow muscles come in right there. Boom, boom, boom. So the idea of high cheekbones should come from the cheekbone itself. Right? That's where we draw the mask. So we have the cheekbone there. So the cheekbone coming in and digging into his body should have been more so. I'm just drawing quick, like rest of the features. It should have been like this, coming in and then going into the rest of the face. Let's say that he's really old, so everything would be sticking to his skull. Right? It would be more like that, the cheekbone coming in, more so than like this, with a weird cheekbone like just kind of floating there. Right? And that's why that little method, the mask method, is so effective when you're drawing actual like faces. Okay, so yeah, so going back, I can tell that I have learned quite a bit. And I probably got my heart broken because my heart's missing and Booby's sad. Probably something sad happened at this point. Little Archie. Then a little mermaid. Again, I was trying to play with like a little bit more of the Chris Anders styling to it, but it's too stiff. Too stiff still. I had not figured out how everything connected, so I still was relying on the whole basic anatomy breakdown. Like I was drawing things as boxes and spheres and cones. And when you draw things as spheres and cones, everything ends up looking a little stiff, right? Because these shapes are very stiff. So unless you start loosening up and like getting a little bit of flow in your art, you're always going to end up with really stiff drawings. And, I was suffering from that at that point. Oh, this is still one of my favorite drawings I've ever made. I have gone in and like touched it up and like changed like his face and stuff like that. But I don't know why this has always just been one of my favorite. I love the feel and like the energy to it. This is from my friend Roro. Rosemary Cordova drew a character, and then I ended up drawing a version of her character. So this was referenced from her art. And it was, oh man, yeah. She drew one of my characters, and I just had to redraw it. I don't know what this is from. I don't know why his neck is so big. I know this guy's a caricature artist that I used to work with, and I don't remember who this is. Then another full page of faces. And I believe this was at CTN. I think I messed up on his face, so I just gave him a ski mask. Yeah, this was from CTN. So towards the end of this book, I believe it has been a while. The look of the characters' faces is starting to look a little bit better. In very short amount of time, everything is starting to look a little bit better. These were referenced from the awesome Vixie Arts, I believe, is the person that I referenced for those. And then we come to the end. This is September 28th. And we started it in... Do we have a name? I don't have a time. Oh, July. So this took us about July. It took us a couple months to finish. Uh, so let's see what we have. Books to buy: Figure Drawing and Design, an Invention by Michael Hampton. I still recommend that book. And yeah. Oh shit, I'm done. Whee! As always, I like to draw myself finishing my sketchbook. Coffee break sketchbook number 2, finished. So, with that in mind, thank you all so much for staying with me throughout the length of the video. If you guys want to go back and look at number 1, I believe it's in one of my last streams. So I will be uploading those to YouTube. So you guys can go find me there as well as Instagram. Those are the 3 formats that I normally go on, and normally the formats that I post different content to. So if you like what you saw and you guys enjoy what I do, those are other ways that you guys can support me. Okay? Thank you all so much. You are all awesome. Love you all. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.